Okay, folks, it is Maker Monday. We'll give everybody a second just to get online, get connected, make sure the feeds are working everywhere. Silence that so that it won't go off again. Let's see. Okay, we got feed on Twitch. And feed is live on YouTube. Okay. Tonight we're going to be playing through some levels. I've got a queue set up on Warp World. Have not got integration into the chat yet. I'm working on a solution that's both YouTube and Twitch at the same time. I do have audio tonight, by the way. Just the title screen does not loop for whatever reason. Let's actually get into this so that it's got a little something going in the background. So next week, hoping to have a bot set up that will do both. For now, though, I do have an automated level details, which will pull from the queue as I enter things. I'll still have to enter them manually here in the game, of course. Sup, Kirby? And that'll make things a lot faster, though, in terms of moving between levels, because I'll be able to just copy, paste, key all that stuff in real simple compared to last week where I was having to type everything up. So, let's actually load up our first level. Yeah, I've spent more time than I should have trying to get that set up, actually. Let's copy this into our password. Should have logged in once before we got started, but I forgot it asked you to do that. Let's find a level, miscellaneous, enter an ID. Alright, we'll get started here. This one's by Lizard Commando. Deep's up there on the right hand corner. Napalm Man. No charge shot. Okay. Not too bad so far. Okay, no secrets that way. Hammer Joe. Okay, this is... it's not even a try and attack those. Oh. A little bit of a sneak attack there. I am actually playing other people's levels. I've got a queue set up. Oh, yeah, botched that one. I don't have a setup for a bot yet, so it is not going to pull from chat automatically. I look to get that set up by next week. Oh, just barely made that. And if I can get that set up next week, you'll be able to use commands to add it from chat. It looks like it's supported by WarpBot, but the problem is WarpBot is Twitch only, and I could do some workarounds because I use Restream. I multicast to both Twitch and YouTube. I could do some workarounds with the chat bot through Restream to get that put into Twitch chat, which would therefore queue it up, but the problem is it associates with the bot user and there's a submission limit, so I could work with some permissions to get it to work, but I'd really rather just have something I could use directly from Restream and not have to cheat, because it gets messy when you do that sort of stuff. It's already messy enough with my automated overlay, because like WarpBot, or not WarpBot, Warp World is going to get pinged by my little thing every 5 seconds, so maybe they don't think I'm a DDoS. Okay. Yeah, I didn't even look to see what abilities I had. I should do that. I'm just so used to getting them as I play, it makes a difference. Okay, let's... Flash Stopper. Might not do a lot of damage. And did not do anything. Okay, that's it. Yeah, that's a real solid level. Very traditional style, nothing outrageous. That's what I'm always afraid of when I get into these Maker games, Mario Maker and this, is people just go nuts with stuff. And it just doesn't, you know, it doesn't flow right. Still something they haven't fixed. I have to click to upvote. Makes things difficult when you play with a controller, but okay, whatever. Alright, we're done with that, so we'll mark that one completed and move on to the next one. Alright, pull up, enter the ID. And a wall between us that's created by JLRS13. Again, level details in the top corner. You can follow along. Pharaoh Man. And I've got Snake as a default weapon. That's interesting. Actually, let's take a look what we got. We've got Snake, Skull Barrier, Crash Bomb, Windstorm, and Charge Kick. Okay. I can't say that I can complain about having Snake as a default weapon, actually. Normally I don't care for a default weapon outside of the Buster, but Snake actually is not... It has its weaknesses. Basically, you can't shoot straight. You have to shoot along the platform, which makes for interesting challenges. Shoot. Okay. Okay, now that's odd transition there. You have to be careful with those because the scrolling for this engine is weird, to say the least. Probably would recommend to just go with a traditional transition there rather than use the warp. Okay. Okay. Alright. That's a solid room. Okay, checkpoint. Oh. Late there. Okay. Oh, I forget I got momentum between transitions. I always forget that. I don't even know why I'm staying here. Adios. Ooh. What if I don't have anything that'll help me up there, so we'll just go. Oh, crud. Don't shoot me. Okay. Okay, so... That does nothing. Might do something. Oh, that was terrible. Why did I do that? Okay. There we go. Remember, momentum can conserve between screens. We'll just go with Skull Barrier to make that easy. And, whoa, he got quite an arm. Okay. Snake again. And let's try this again. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Less than an ideal. Okay, I'm trying to wonder if that's foreshadowing. This is actually an interesting idea. Rather than dodging the Robot Master himself, which is what Mega Man bosses typically end up becoming, is just dodge him. Actually, why am I gonna risk it here? It's a matter of you actually have to dodge the attack. And it makes sense that Snake is the default weapon that you got in the level because that's at the end. Like it, it's good. Let's see. I think the only thing I found with it was the screen transition to the teleporter. I've seen that a lot. It's people, they want to use the transporter as some sort of an on-screen transition, but it makes the camera just spaz out in the meantime. So it's something to be kind of avoided if you can. Let's see, play the next one, the Hatchery. Miscellaneous, enter ID. The Hatchery by Silent Thief. It's got a score of 0 and 5 plays, so seems like it's a fairly new one. Plant Man, I don't think I've fought Plant Man yet. Oh, this could be annoying. Let's see, what have I got? Crash Bomber is all I have. Gut reaction to Crash Bomb being the only weapon available is not good usually. I will reserve judgment to see how it's handled though. If it's done in a good manner, maybe. I played one the other day that it didn't fit. It was just basically they wanted to use a different weapon. This actually seems like it's a pretty thoughtful use of it. It's saying, hey, be careful what you do, because you can really screw yourself if you're not careful. Like I just pretty much did right there. And he respawned. Yeah. Oh, yep, I'm toast. Oh, yep, didn't make it. I didn't think I was going to make it. Yeah, this is a good use of the default Crash Bomb to make it more challenging, not just to pick a weapon because, oh hey, it's a bomb, it's cool. I've seen levels like that, and that's not any fun to play. I mean, it's nice that I can just go right over here, in the sense that it's easy. Nope, sorry, it's my headphones cutting out. It's the problem with having these headphones that work mostly on software than hardware. I do not think these respawn. Let me go back and see if they do, because if they don't, I'm stuck. Oh. Favorite weapon? You know, I actually like what they've done with the top in this. I didn't like it in the original, obviously, because, you know, top is pretty much useless in the original. Oh, come on. There we go. But I like how they basically turned it into a Mario jump in this one, because you can bounce off enemies, so that's pretty neat. Another thing that I like is what they've done with the charge kick, since you can use it in the air now, so it basically becomes an air dash, so that gives you some mobility options. You know, if we're talking greatest of all time Mega Man weapons, it's obviously the Metal Blade, because, you know, OP is all get out. But it's, you know, it's not a very fun weapon. It's very practical, but it's not something that you can use in a very fun way. It's very straightforward. I have to say, in general, Crash Bomb is probably my least favorite, but I would probably chalk that up to the fact that, you know, you had to have it at the end of Mega Man 2 to beat that boss. And basically, that whole affair just put a sour taste in my mouth towards Crash Bombs. And I mean, purely offensively, the Crash Bombs are just not that useful. Crud. But, what was I saying? Oh, crud. If you're not using the Crash Bomb like you are here, in a creative way, which you actually want to control your rate of fire, then it's not a great weapon, because it is a very slow. I don't have the option to allow outside users to queue currently, not that I'm aware of, other than a chat bot, and so I don't have a chat bot that can work with both Twitch and YouTube, so queuing from chat's not an option right now. I do have a post on the official forums if you've got an account there, or the subreddit, the official Mega Maker subreddit, which is Mega Maker Official, and I've got threads there. You can add them. I've already got a queue of about 10-15 levels, so might not be able to make it to them. I keep jumping this. I'd have to take a look and see if I added it. Like I say, I've got quite a few here. I added everything that I had right up there. Yeah, it should be. If you queued it up there, it should be in the queue. I don't have a visual for the queue, because when I originally made the overlay, that wasn't something I had a consideration for. I'm still not sure that I would add it, because I'm already... Chat is fairly short already, and the level details are cramped as well, so I don't know where I would fit in a queue. The best I could probably do would be a next rather than an entire queue, but I'll consider some changes to the overlay, but it's already, like I say, pretty densely populated, so I don't know if I can squeeze anything in there or not. Oh, almost had it. Did I get a life up as I fell off the stage? Okay. Okay, there we go. Getting there. Almost to the screen transition. Hopefully I'll get to it. We'll give this one quite a few tries, but if it's clear we're not going to make it any farther, we'll stop. But I keep making just a little bit more progress. Yeah, my output that I'm using for my... so I can see chat, because I can see basically exactly what everybody sees on stream. So it introduces a little bit of lag, and the FPS don't quite match up to the game. So when I get hit, I tend to go invisible because I'm only seeing the frames where the sprite is not visible. So sometimes I lose track of myself if I get hit. So I may actually transition to using the direct display rather than stream for this. I just like to be able to try and keep up with chat better. Oh, there we go again. Okay. We'll give it... I'll keep track of it. We'll give it 3 more tries. And we may skip it and come back to it if we can't get it in 3 tries. Or at least make it to a set checkpoint in 3 tries. I should have got a notification if you posted into the Reddit thread, so it should be on there. I may just not have had time to upvote if it was kind of last minute, because I was trying to get everything set up, because I had to, just tonight, I have written up a web app. Oh, it squashed me. Yeah, that's one. I wrote up a web app for the level details up there to automate that whole process, to make sure everything's quick and matches. So that was kind of a last minute thing, because I've been running errands all day. Just didn't have time until just the last second. But so I was pushing everything to get it all ready before tonight. And that includes getting the queue set up and then getting everything added. I literally added that stuff. I started, I want to say about 8:10 is when I started adding stuff. So yeah, but I'm not going to make that one. So we'll just kill myself. That's 2. We do one more and I'll skip it, and if I get through, I'll come back and hit this one up at the end. Okay, let's hit the helicopter so that I don't break that. And he just respawns. Okay. Run for it. Okay, checkpoint. So we'll give it another 3 tries since we've hit a checkpoint. And then if we don't make that, we'll move on. Okay. It seems conspicuous. Okay, now there's one of those iffy transitions. If things don't line up just right, you get an odd transition. Here we go. Much better. See, here's one of the things about the crash bomb I don't like, and that is the long wait before you can fire a second shot. So you have to make them count. Okay, we got life, that's good. A lot of weapons energy with no weapons. I wish that should be a factor actually into the drops. If you have no weapons, they should just remove drops completely. Alright, you little blue squiggly thing. Ooh. A wider boss arena. Let's see how that plays into things. Oh, no. Whew. If it weren't for all those eggs, that would have been a terrible, terrible boss fight. But it balances out with the eggs. Yeah, no, that's pretty solid. The beginning was probably a little... I want to say it's a barrier to entry. We'll put it that way. That's pretty rough up front. The second half was by far and away much easier. So I don't know what happened there. Maybe I would almost say flip that order and put the easier portion up front and the harder portion in the back end. Of course, it could also just be my play style. It may just be that, you know, I don't do well with the platforming with large gaps all the time. Either way, I'm saying that's a thumbs up. Could use a couple tweaks, adjust the transition on that one screen. Like I would put a hard stop on one end and then transition down and make sure that that screen is fully transitioned, because if you don't, you've got a weird camera pan, and it just, presentation wise, it's a little on the iffy side. But you know, that's an engine thing. It's one of the things you just have to learn and work around. Alright, we'll mark that one completed and move on to the next. Oh. Easy as a rock. It's got a score of 1, 5 plays. Again, this is another relatively new one, I would imagine. What's the date? 7/20? I don't even know what today is. Yeah, it's about 4 days old, which is not bad. I mean, there's a lot of levels out here. You can already see the level IDs up to 47,000, almost 48,000. So, needle in a haystack situation. I forget his name. Is he Concrete Man? I didn't play that one much. I was more 2 and 3. Alright. Oh, I do have a charge shot. Oh. Actually, yeah, let's do it. Do an inventory. We got Mega Buster, Quick Boomerang, Windstorm, and Crash Bomb. Oh, you got a little. Let's try it. Okay, he's got a tutorial. I'll give him props for that. Oh. Okay, am I to assume that breaks with a Crash Bomb? Yeah, I got that one. And in the hole. And away you go. Oh, I forgot it despawns those. Well, that could be a problem. Okay, it respawns it. Good. There we go. Much better way to do that. I'm toast. Let's see. Crash Bomb might stick to his shell. Let me see. We'll run a test down here. Whoops. Whoops. Didn't mean to use 2 of those. Oh, crud. Yeah, there's a few balance tweaks that needs to be made here. I think that's probably the intended way to do that, but yeah, it's not a good place for you to have to experiment. It's not a place you can do it safely. You should always be able to experiment in a safe environment before you get into things. And I should have stayed with that. Okay. I'm not sure that's how that was supposed to go. And... oh, come on. I'm assuming we're supposed to do the same thing. Okay, this makes no sense based on his little picture. Oh. And no save point. Yeah. See, now this one's a little different from the last one. The last one was difficult, but it was, I could see what I was supposed to do, I just could not execute. So it was purely on me. This one is a little more unfair. It's a lot of things that are just kind of, they throw stuff at you without much of an opportunity to dodge. And they don't give you a good way to test things. They don't set you up in a good position for that sort of stuff. It's a lot of, oh, you messed up, well, that's it. You've not got another choice kind of thing. And see, here I don't have a crash bomb, so what's going to happen? I'm barely going to get that. I got lucky that time. See, and that's something you almost have to tank the damage there. I mean, you could avoid it if you really like it. Yeah, I'm not sure what the lag is. The lag, they're still trying to narrow it down. It's I don't know. Some people say it's purely the size of the level. Some people say it's a matter of objects on screen. Some people say it's a matter of objects in the level. And I don't know. I've not had terrible lag, but I've got a computer that should be able to run this in its sleep. But I've also heard that doesn't necessarily matter either. Oh, come on. Yep, I wish I kind of had a rage bar right now. See, I'm out of weapons energy. It's just like, this is shot. Oh, yep, I'm screwed. Alright, we're done. Okay. We will... I'll say we'll give this one a skip. Yeah, we'll give it a skip. We'll give it a skip. We'll see, maybe we'll come back to it if we get through. It's not unwinnable. I'm sure you could do it. It's just... It's poorly designed, we'll put it that way. And that may be entirely the intention. It may not supposed to be a good design. It could be a troll level, or they're trying to go for sort of kind of Kaizo, things like that. But anyway, we'll see if we can get back, maybe do it. Yeah, and that's going to take forever to do that, and that's just, you don't want to do that, especially in a Mega Maker game. You want to make that, you want something that somebody can hop into and go, exactly, you have to have stuff like that. You really shouldn't make anything weapon dependent. When you design a level, you should make it weapon optional. You get your perks, but you can't make it necessary. It becomes a problem. So alright, we're moving on to the pyramid with the little on-the-nose Pharaoh man. Oh, let's see what I got. Mega Buster only. Tank a couple hits. Whoa, this is enemy overkill. The subreddit, I didn't include a link in the description, I forgot to. The subreddit though is just Mega Maker official. Alright, we got more of these awkward screen transitions, and you'll see me harp on that a lot, because that's one of my pet peeves. I'm not even sure where to go here, so we'll just go down. And I mean, it is really, a screen transition is really a minor thing. I understand that. Not a good thing. You should never have a blind jump. I mean, there can be things that seem like blind jumps, but you have to give some sort of an indicator. Got projectile spam here. That upper mechanic is actually pretty clever. It makes you have to manage both an upward and a downward motion in two opposite platforms. So that's not bad. Got the odd transition. I'm going to harp on that. So if you're going to submit a level to me, make sure your transitions are good, because you will not hear the end of it. Oh, he respawned. Ouch. Screw you, I'm just not even going to bother. Adios. Screw you too. Now see, here are things I don't like. It's basically, this is nothing more than a time sink. Because you sit here, you dodge, you shoot. You sit here, you dodge, you shoot. It's not, I mean, yeah, it's challenging in the sense that you have to have the right timing and everything, but it's not like, it's fairly simple challenge. And I would be reluctant to really call it a challenge at that either. Of course, the one time I get up there is the time I've already got all my life. Oh, yep, another blind drop. I forgot about that. 2 blind drops, not good. Oh. See, like, okay, here, we're going to give an actual, here's a solution for a bad transition in this particular instance. You see here, all of this action takes place on a single screen. So what do? You make this a single screen and put a forced scroll right here. You put the forced scroll right here, and that way the camera does not shift when you scroll down. You stay here, screen's fixed in its position, does not scroll until you reach this point, at which point you have a second screen over here. And that's what you have to do. Yeah, it's a lot of scrolling, it's a lot of screen transitions, but it just, in my opinion, is a much better presentation. And again, with something like Mega Maker, presentation is king. You have to make sure things look right. Otherwise, you're going to turn people off fairly quickly. If they're people that pay attention to that sort of stuff. Some people don't. Because, let's face it, gameplay is, in the end, the most important thing. But if you've got a bad presentation up front, people are less likely to give you a chance. Oh, this is gonna suck. And still not a checkpoint. I fully expected a checkpoint after a door. Oh my lord, this looks like a nightmare. Okay, not too bad. A little tedious. Okay, we got a checkpoint. I didn't actually pay attention. Did I collide with those? But yeah, okay, now the screen transition. And this one, oh, this one would have been super easy. That's... Okay, enough with the projectile spam. Yeah, come on, you gotta be fair. You can't pull crap like that. Okay, I thought I might could plow through them guys, but nope. Crystal Skull. There's a pun there. Oh, Yoku blocks. Wonderful. Let's see where these are all at. Oh, that's gonna suck. FYI, before any Yoku block section above spikes, dang it, jumped too soon. Any Yoku blocks over top of an instant death should definitely have a save point in front of it. I know there was maybe 1 or 2 save points in most Mega Man games. This is not a Mega Man game. This is a Mega Maker game. That's a completely different animal. Ah! Couple seconds late. There's a door, which I can only hope is the Robot Master, so we'll see. Again, a forced transition there would help with that scroll so that it's not the weird camera panning in 2 directions at once. I mean, I know it's neat that they added the option to let you do both horizontal and vertical panning to make it more like a Mega Man X level. Just a millisecond late again. But just because you can do something doesn't mean that you should do something in all cases. If you make a good level, yeah, go for the bi-directional pan. But if you're just, you know, being sloppy with your transitions, that's a different thing altogether. Alright. Let's try it again. I keep thinking that it's a longer pause between those than the rest. It's not. I mean, I know it's been hammered to death in modern YouTube. I mean, that's the go-to thing for any YouTube video about level design. It's, oh, let's give this to you as an example in a safe environment. But it's true. Oh, I bailed on that one too early. Oh. I hate Yoku blocks. I really hate them. What was the fan game? It was Mega Man Unlimited, I think, actually had a Yoku man. I did eventually beat him. That was a absolute nightmare. But it happened eventually. That room, that's a room of attrition, man. You just go through it, tank it, be done with it. There we go, finally. There's not a checkpoint in front of Pharaoh Man. Oh, you have got to be kidding me. Okay, I think he's just stuck. Okay, spoke too soon. That's it, I'm done. I am not going to that Yoku every time just to get to the boss. Nope. Okay. This is the first one that I'm actually going to give a down. No. There were too many problems with that to give it a pass. Let's queue up the next one. Wild Wily's Fortress. 11 plays, score of 2. Luca Man 23. Let's see what we've got here. I like the music. It's a little overused, to be fair, but it's good music. What can I say? It's also appropriate for a Wily level. We got Top Spin, Cutter, and Storm. And that's a top spin right there. Oh, gotta get the timing right. Oh, and he can take more one hit. Okay. I'm sure this takes advantage of a glitch in the engine, if I remember. Yeah, you slide continually until you come out, so spikes cannot kill you from a slide. Oh, there's a Yoku. I was like, what is going on? Oh, that's right, I gotta jump off this guy. I forgot. Come here. Yikes. Oh, crap. I dropped short. Well, I mean, to be fair, it's a jam, but I'll try and remember that. Oh Lord, it has been almost an hour already. I didn't even realize. To instigate a per level limit on how many attempts I'll make first try. Be like, okay, if I can do it in this many tries, we're good. Otherwise, we'll come back to it. Yeah, I can't blame you there. I'm not even gonna risk that. Okay, whoa. Sorry. Weird transitions. I had to make sure I'd lost all my momentum. I always forget that. Do not slide into a screen transition. Okay. Okay. I missed where that one was at. I was thinking it was one block over. What was that? Did I die on the top of that spike? Okay. Note to self. Watch the top of spikes. Or bottom. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just, you know, you gotta keep the integrity of the original design. And a lot of people are, you know, most people are like, oh, hey, I can finally combine these two things that I've always liked. But I've always been a themed guy myself, even with Mario Maker. I made a lot of levels that stuck to theme. I actually had a whole series of Mario Maker levels, and basically it was making levels that would absolutely fit within their original games. And then I made 4 quote-unquote worlds of those, which is 4 levels each of Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers 3, Super Mario World, and New Super Mario Brothers, using only the mechanics and items from those particular games. And then I went back and made one that was functionally a modern version of each of those, where I went in hog wild, did whatever. I should have went up there. That would have been so much easier. Okay, that's weird. Oh, that's a tough one. I'm a big fan of Mega Man. Always have been. Well, I say always. It's been 15 years since I was introduced to Mega Man, but ever since then. But, you know, Mega Maker is cool and all, and yeah, I know, I don't know what was going on there. There needed to be a wall there to keep you from doing that, because I understand what they were going for here, but yeah, it's an instant death if you go in there. Anyhow, back to Mario Maker versus Mega Maker. They both have their benefits. Like I say, I love Mega Man, but I'm a big fan of Mario too. And Mario does have the benefit of the concept being much simpler, because it's run, jump, and it's all a matter of enemy placement, really. But you have so much more to take into consideration with a Mega Maker that, oh, it is a lot harder to make a solid level. And I say this from experience, because like I say, I made a lot of Mega Man or Mario levels in Mario Maker. I mean, I made a whole quote-unquote game, so that's I ended up with 9 worlds, 4 levels each. So that's, I can't even keep track of how many levels that was. Oh. But, sorry, try to catch up with the chat there for a second. But, since Mario's so much more simple, it makes for much easier to develop solid levels, because there's a lot less mechanics you have to deal with. You don't have to deal with, oh, well, you've got a projectile, which means you can do damage from a distance. How does that factor in? You have to, do you protect your enemies so that they can't shoot through walls, or do you, you know, let them shoot through walls? Do you make that a planned mechanic where you have to do that? Oh, this is a touchy jump. There we go. And, like I say, I think the simplicity of Mario Maker makes for a better overall experience, because I think more people can do more and get more out of it that way. But, I think in the right hands, Mega Maker could be much stronger overall. Oh, I'm gonna hit that first cycle, or that's gonna be a pain. Ah, I forgot he was there. Ah! We'll see. I queued up. I had quite a few people make multiple submissions, so I'll try and get to them if I finish the queue before we call it quits, which will probably be somewhere around 10 o'clock Eastern, so roughly half an hour from now. And I've still got a few in the queue, so I'm going to probably say no, that we probably won't make it to a second one of yours tonight. I'll be doing this again next week, and you know, I'll be, as I get more and more submissions, I obviously can't hit everything in the queue, so we'll have to be a little more discerning, and we'll have to definitely limit people to 1 level per stream. But we'll see how things go. We may get through it, we may not. I've had quite a few I've got just stuck on. And I would say this one's not a bad design that's getting me stuck. I'm not a fan of some of the choices. I forgot that those disappear on the same step. I think so far, and here we get back into the Mario versus Mega Maker. Mario Maker was a beast at the start when they didn't have checkpoints. It was terrible. I'm just going to go out and say it. There were so many people making impossible levels with no checkpoints, because there was no checkpoint. I'm guilty of it myself. Some of the levels I have on Mario Maker still, they've got no checkpoints because I made them before checkpoints were introduced, and I wasn't about to re-upload, because if you re-upload you lose all your stats. I didn't want to lose that, so I just left it. And you know, right after checkpoints were added as an option, I was getting just so many comments like, hey, add checkpoints, add checkpoints. And I agree, it needed them, and I would have put them in there definitely if that was an option when I made the level. But I didn't jump. But these were World 9 levels. These were intended to be gauntlets. And if we were going by the original Mario formula anyhow, there were no checkpoints in those levels. There were no checkpoints in World 8. And so, by that nature, shouldn't be in what I made to make it authentic. I wouldn't have done that because I keep forgetting you cannot jump out of a slide. I have to turn around. Or at least it's not letting me. Alright, let me there. I don't know. Whatever. Maybe it's because I was holding the button down. I have to let go of the button. But in Mega Maker, you have unlimited checkpoints, to my knowledge. I haven't made a level, I'm going to say. Yeah, that's definitely an issue if that's not your thing. Don't get me wrong, I'll sit down and play some of those occasionally just because the stuff they can do with them is crazy. But if that's not what you're looking for and that's just what comes up, so you're playing 100 Mario Challenge or say you just throw random stuff in there, that's no fun. So I like it, at least if they're going to do it, at least clearly tell me in the name, this is what you're going to do. And that way, if I'm playing through random levels or if I'm playing the stuff on the top charts that, hey, this is an auto-scroller, I'm going to skip this because it's not what I want to play. But, yeah, that's the problem when it comes into the automatic levels that you get in 100 Man. And it's just, it kind of kills the momentum. Because it's like, oh, here was having a good time, a good challenge. And then all of a sudden you've got this freebie, basically. I have to move when I jump because I don't have time to land and jump again. I'm kicking myself. Yeah, exactly. I mean, and they're fun for what they are. But, again, when they come up in 100 Man, it's like, it's not a whole lot of fun. I'm not terribly concerned about that with Mega Maker just because it just, like I say, I've not messed with the editor in Mega Maker. I'm familiar with the engine that Mega Maker is based on, so therefore I can speak to that end of it. Like I'm speaking from actual programming perspective. I'm familiar with some of this stuff. Had my invincibility frames I couldn't see. But I don't see automatic levels becoming nearly as big a thing in Mega Maker just because it seems a lot harder to do. It's not impossible, because clearly people have done it, but it just seems like so much more trouble. Yeah, you're never going to get an auto in Expert or Super Expert. This is not going to happen. The only way you're going to get that in Expert or Super Expert if it's a troll auto level. It's like it's auto level up to the end, and then it's got like a Kaizo section just to screw with you. Oh, I missed it. Okay, we're gonna put a cap on this one. We're gonna say 3 more tries. Yeah, it feels like there's not enough information sometimes going into a level. Because like you say, what's the first thing I have to do most of the time? That's open up the ability screen just so you see what you've got to work with. And it needs to become a habit, but it would be nice if you didn't have to. If that just came up and you could see it right off the bat, and that was just part of it. I mean, even if it's not on the info screen, because I mean, okay, fine, don't put it on the info screen. That's 1 death, strike 1. Even if it's not on the intro or the info page, put it in the intro, you know, where they've got the Robot Master. Yeah, it's not original Mega Man anymore, but it's something that you can use besides just doing the fanfare, because let's be honest, that's one problem I have too. It's, you come in and the intro plays for each thing. It's cool that you see who it is, but it just takes up so much time, and that's almost a problem in the original Mega Man, except there's only 9. Does it? Maybe I've just not paid attention then. Okay, finally made it through that section. And a checkpoint. So that's gonna reset us. Oh no. Oh. Slide, slide, slide. Don't slide. Ah! Yeah, I'm going to say I haven't seen it. Maybe I've overlooked it. It's 100% possible that I have, but I don't recall it. And I've seen that. I'm pretty sure I've seen that requested sometime. So I don't know. I'm not gonna die on that mountain. It's not that big of a deal for me. Yeah, I mean, it would be nice to do something, yeah, do a dock robot situation where you can get the abilities, but I think, honestly, that's the harder part. It's not the animations that are the big deal. It's actually programming the AI to get them to do what they need to do. Oh. That's a tight squeeze. I'm not. Alright. We'll give it a few more tries before we call it quits and move on. Yeah, like I say, I've not worked in the editor any, so I couldn't tell you even if they showed up in that, because I haven't looked at it. I have literally pulled up nothing but playing it. Oh no, I'm screwed. Alright, 2 tries. We'll give it 2 more tries, and then we'll put this one on the skip, because this one's not... doesn't appear just completely broken, just more difficult than I've got time for at the moment. Oh, and I made it through that one time. What happened? I tried that, it didn't move very fast. We'll give it another shot now. Maybe I had the timing wrong. Yeah, nah, I think sliding's faster. Maybe I've just got the jump timing wrong. I'm sure it's doable, but we've got better things to do at the moment. So we'll come back to this one. We'll put this one on the skip list rather than the completely remove it list. Nightman's Castle. Let's see. 24 plays, score of 9. Shadow Ranger. That's not good. Okay, there we go. Just took a long time to load for some reason. More Wily stage. Woo. Oh yeah, let's see. Metal Blade, Crash Bomb, Plant, and Rush Coil. Finally, something with mobility. Come on, bug boys. That's an odd screen transition. Like, not at any fault of the developer here, just, like, I don't know. You walk through the gates too much, and I've never really noticed that until just now. So we're going to talk screen transitions again, because again, that's my pet peeve. No, actually I was going to talk that last screen transition as we came out of the corridor. That was actually probably an unnecessary screen transition. Okay, that threw me off. See, this is one of the problems where screen scroll can cause issues, because the camera doesn't trace right when you're making those sorts of jumps. I mean, it does, but it just throws you off. Anyhow, right here, this feels like it shouldn't be its own screen. Either this corridor shouldn't exist, and it should go back to the left, or you just shouldn't screen transition there. Because, okay, assume you get up there to the health up there. What happens if you scroll to the left from there? You're going to end up in the scenery like we did in that one level, and you're going to, you know, crash out. Maybe not crash out, you might actually fall back down into the corridor, but it's going to be a bad transition either way. So I would say keep the corridor, but lose the transition. Okay, and so here the screen transition switches just spontaneously right there. Mid-jump if you jump at the wrong time. Well, that's what I get for trying to show it off. Okay, so here's another little small thing. You don't think about it because it's on two separate screens when you're designing. I completely get this from a design standpoint. I worked on a Link's Awakening map one time, and even in the official games they do stuff like this sometimes, but that's because you never transition between those screens. But look, there's no edge tile there. You see how these have edges where there's a shadow on the left or right? There was none of that on that previous screen because you don't think about it because you're transitioning between screens. But, you know, people like me that notice the weird tiling, I notice that sort of stuff, and it drives me bonkers because I've got this weird OCD that strictly revolves around transitions and continuity between screens. It's my curse. Okay, so oh, there we go. We'll go down here and use this one instead. I would prefer an E-tank. I actually like what they did with the what is it, plant shield? I don't even remember what they call it. It's nice that it gives you health back, because the shields are just not terribly useful most of the time. But it's nice to have that exception. Oh lord, I'm not even sure what I'm supposed to do here. This seems scary. Okay. Okay, and there's no way out, so I gotta go back down. Oh, wrong one. Let's see, I'm not sure what that's about. That seems weird. I don't know, that may actually have a little to do with the code for transitioning the screen, because I don't know, it doesn't, something about it feels a little off. It feels like maybe the camera shouldn't focus so tightly on you if you're not grounded, if you know what I mean. It's like if you're not grounded, crap. It feels like if you're not grounded, the camera shouldn't move. It should feel more like a traditional flat section. You say like, every time I jump, the screen transitions, and Mega Man stays center of the screen. And that doesn't feel right from a standard, you know, that's not what it feels like when you're normally jumping. See, when you normally jump, there you go. The screen doesn't move, you're fine. But, I don't know, it just feels odd when the screen follows you super closely like that. And maybe it's all in my head. I don't know. It could also be that the slight frame delay I've got on the live stream is throwing me off too. Oh, I forgot he dropped that on me. Yeah, we're going for safety strats there. Oh, come on. Okay, we got two options, a ladder or a slide. I'm gonna take a slide. E-tank. Okay. I feel like I'm cheating. Oh, nope. There we go. See, now this is where I see a problem coming in, is... Ah, crap. I cannot do two things at once, apparently. I'm not 100% sure how many more I've got left, and I know at least 2 of those are duplicates. I'll check between the next 2 levels if I remember, and I'll let you know. See, Crash Bomb is required, which... I may regret this, but we're gonna see what this does. Oh, Yoku blocks. Yeah, I'm not gonna risk it. No checkpoint, not gonna do it. Here's a weird transition. Oh, makes sense now. Yeah, it would kind of been nice to have that M-tank now. Oh well. Just have to brute force it. Oh. Yeah, regret not getting the M-tank. Let's see. We'll give it a shot. I can't imagine Metal Blade's going to be terribly useful. Yep. Yeah, I got E-tanks, but I'm not going to waste my E-tanks if I've not made a dent. Like, I'm not gonna start using E-tanks until I've got him to like half health. What are you doing, Nightman? Alright, we're just gonna have to bait him, it looks like. Alright, we're gonna use it this time. Very poor menuing. Yeah, I knew it was Crash Man though, because Metal Blade just bounced off, and so did the plant shield. Okay, let's see. This one was... No, it just bounced off. But, let's see. I don't know. I don't think I can give an up vote on this one. There were a couple of issues. Very heavily weapon blocking. So yeah, that could have been. But I can't give him a thumbs up because you know, I don't like weapon locking. It becomes a problem because you have to have a constant source of weapons energy. And I get where he was going because that was, I mean, it was obvious by the time you got to Nightman that that's going to be his weakness because you've had to use it through this whole stage. And that's kind of the whole point. But at the same time, you could soft lock yourself. I mean, you can't literally, you can always quit. Yeah, I'm trying to keep things. I've had issues with my ISP some on the previous stream, and I was having some cutouts, so I tried to add a little bit of delay. Plus, we're having some bad weather around here, and for some reason that affects my ISP. I don't know why, because we've got cable. But yeah, so let's see. It looks like I've got 3 more levels in the queue. Yeah, I'm sure it is, because there's also the issue of, yes, you can see some of the comments in chat are coming from YouTube, and some are coming from Twitch, and that's Restream. Restream has a bot that actually sends one to the other, and I have no control over that. That's completely out of my control. But between the little bit of lag introduced between the little bit of difference between the YouTube being a little slow and Twitch being a little slow, and then Restream bot being a little slow about combining the chat, yeah, there's a lot of lag ends up introduced along the course of it. Let's see, we've got 58524. And Vorpal dude, there we go, yeah. Alright. Let's see, 14 plays, score of 1. Cutting edge technology. I want to say there's one more after this. Let's see. Whoa! Okay. Let's see here. Okay, I see where we're going here. Alright. Okay. Okay, we're gonna hit up on screen transitions and tile setting once more. I would recommend putting another wall there on this scene in order to make it flow better, because as it is, You've just got the beam generators, and it feels like a stark difference. There's no, it feels kind of open and infinite, and it just, I don't know, it feels weird to me. But again, I'm super picky when it comes to the screen transitions and tiling. I'm a little OCD. I guess it comes from all my years of pixel edits. Let's see. Oh, yep, input got 8. Let's try this again. Oh, just shy, just shy. Oh, those are transparent. I did not know. Or not transparent, but semi-solid. Oh, crap. Oh, I can understand that. That's part of the reason I didn't redo some of my harder levels in Mario Maker too. I really did want to keep my stats, but also I did not, want to beat some of those. Yeah, I could tell that that's why some of the gaps are there. It's to try and get you to not jump high on all of them. Gotta hit the right cadence. Okay, I like the idea, but I gotta say, having to listen to all those noises is kind of annoying. But that's not entirely your fault. I forget the generators are semi-solid, or not solid. What's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, it's not terribly bad though once you realize it's kind of, you gotta get the right start and basically from there move and just keep moving basically. Wait a second, you muted it just so that you muted it, but at the same time you did it anyhow. That just seems really cruel. Ah, crap. I didn't want to have to wait on that other platform, but I'm probably going to have to. Okay, you get an upvote if only for the way that ended. Oh god. Oh god. Oh, I'm losing my headphones. Oh my lord. That was hilarious. Oh god. Oh man. I kind of wish that was the last one because that would be the perfect way to end things. Okay, let's see. Oh my god, I haven't laughed that hard all day. I really needed that. Thank you. Alright. Alright. Trouble in the Tropics. I don't think this is one we skipped. I've only got 2 in the queue, so I'm assuming it's one of these. No, that was a good concept. Like I say, the audio was an issue, but that's something that can't be helped. But the concept was amazing. I love that idea of, okay, you're basically, it's a radiation field, you know, to try and keep it sci-fi, and you just got to get through there and survive. It was a great concept. I may mute it if I do another level like that in the future, though. Oh yeah, what have I got? Rush coil. That actually might be useful. Yeah, there we go. Oh, crap. They need to make one-way transitions besides the gates. I know somebody was like, in the forums, was like, just use the gates. That's what they're there for. I was like, no, that's kind of to indicate that you're reaching a boss, or at the very least, you're like actually going through an airlock. Like, I made a level for a contest, and I actually used it as an airlock. But I think there should be one-way transitions, because that's a thing in Mega Man. It's always been a thing in Mega Man. Oh, that was not right. Oh, that's right, I can slide under these things. There we go. I kind of question this tiling, because it, to me, feels like it's a drop platform. It's not, obviously, but it feels like it is. And so, I don't know, maybe I would pick a different tile there. But that's a minor thing, even if you wanted to change it. I mean, it's not breaking anything by any means. That's just one of those little, okay, let's make things clear to the user type things. No, it's actually really solid. Let's see. Oh, okay. Okay, I slipped right through that crack. Didn't even realize that was a thing. Oop. Yeah, that's another thing I've talked about. It would be nice to be able to do that, but here's the problem, is pallets were used in the NES as a cheap way to do things, because memory was a premium. So they couldn't store, you know, 1 billion copies of one thing just so they could, use it down the road. They had to store one image, and I would be reluctant to even call it an image, but they stored one set of information about an image, and that's where they had the palettes for. Which the palette would allow them to say, okay, put this color in this position. And that's the way they could change it. You could swap a palette just as easy as saying, okay, this is the palette, and the image would auto-adjust. But the way they're doing this is most likely a fixed tile set. It's a literal PNG or a bitmap or whatever file type they want to use, and it's literally stored somewhere, which means you can't do on-the-fly color edits quite as easily. And that's just assumption on my part. I don't know that that's actually the case, but based on my experience with the Mega Engine, I'm assuming that's the case. If I remember correctly, in the Mega Engine, even to do animations, you had to store each separate color, even if it was all it was changing the color of a tab. I mean, because otherwise it would be like, oh, well, I'll just I'll change the palette for the animation, not change the actual image. But that seemed to be the way it was structured in Mega Engine. And that may be, but as far as I'm aware, it's not included as part of the Mega Engine that they use, which is wholly separate from Game Maker. It's not to say they couldn't use it. They probably could and probably should, but it's just not built in. Okay, that one was pretty good. Had a couple of transitions. Again, palettes were a little weird. I think the biggest thing for me was the transitions from indoors to outdoors, which I love the concept of. I did that myself with one of my levels, but it was in space, so it was literally an airlock out into space. But you have to make sure things blend going in, and there were a couple times that it seemed like basically the tile set just stopped on a screen transition. So it was good though. I'll still give it a thumbs up on that one. And just could use a couple minor tweaks, but there was nothing functionally wrong with it. It was all just in presentation, and we know how I get stuck on presentation. Okay, Dangerous Tower. I'm trying to remember if this is one of them that we played earlier. I don't even remember. King Marth. I want to say it was. Let's load it up and see if it's one we've already played. I'll probably pull one from somewhere else. Nightman, didn't we fight a Nightman? Oh yeah, no, I haven't done this one. Oh boy. What do we got? Mega Buster only. Do have charge. Okay, let's roll. No slide. Oh god. Ooh, Lord. I'll go ahead and tell you, this is probably killing the performance of the stream. This background, it is not conductive to streams because it just kills the bit rate. Oh, I gotta time that out because that guy's moving back and forth. I didn't see that. Clever. Oh look, I scraped my toe on a spike, so I'm going to catastrophically destruct. Okay, I got a spike up my butt. I could understand exploding over that one. Okay, so we gotta hang out, hop on him for just a split second, jump over here, tell him. Okay, I'm lost. Okay, let's try going this way. Okay, we got a checkpoint. Oh. Okay, that was a glitch. Please tell me I'm not the only one that saw that. Yeah, part of it is like, I don't know, it's the way the camera pans or something. It's so easy to get lost, and I don't... Oh, I was expecting a clean break there. And no, to answer your question earlier, no, I'm not. Oh crap! I forgot where I was at. I'm not getting mad. This is not that bad at all. The only thing is, the background is it wreaks havoc on a streamer. I'll tell you that. And that combined with a teleporter does actually make things pretty confusing. I mean, I get it. It's a cool background and all, but it makes things very hard to follow. Oh, it drops. I should have just waited. It makes things very disorienting when it's not at the intended frame rate. Like if I look over here at my second screen where I've actually got it running versus where I've got the overlay set up on my other screen, it looks good. I guess it's not that bad, not disorienting, but just that slightly choppy late nature of the capture versus the original is just enough to kind of, it does one of those things to your brain where it triggers like a sense of vertigo almost, makes you a little nauseous, that sort of thing. Ah, crap. And there's a glitch here on these. If you stand on them, whoops, and just hold up to go up a ladder, you actually stay on the block until the block drops away. So I need to report that. Whoa! It does it there too. Even if you're already in free fall, you will stick to it. Which, don't get me wrong, you could actually use that as a feature rather than a bug. I'm sure somebody could come up with a creative use for that. I'm not sure why I died there. I think I just kept riding that block straight through the platform. It happened so fast though, I'm not 100% sure. Oh, I thought I was standing on the ladder. Rule of thumb, when it comes to fallen platforms, do not trust ladders to do what they're supposed to. Yep, you fall right to the platform, so you gotta do a little hop there to disengage yourself from the block. I'm assuming it's got something to do with... Oh, I'm stuck. Unless I can get hit. There we go. So disengage. Oh, I disengaged too late. It already triggered the rotation. So yeah, the issues I've had with this level so far, I would not associate with a design problem so much as a problem with the game itself. Because it's got some quirks there on how they interact together between the fallen blocks and the ladders. Okay, I disengaged properly, but I didn't get over to the other platform because I didn't expect it. Oh, just a little too fast on that one. I glanced up at the stream capture too for a second. Threw me off. Oh, too fast again. I gotta get that timing down just right. Oh, too slow on that one. It's too fast. I could probably almost went for the fallen blocks there though and been okay. Too fast. Oh, jumped too high. It's all the little things. You just gotta get in that groove and get a pattern and get it established. Which I can't seem to do apparently. I will say you've done something very impressive from a design point with a level like this. Normally I would 100% not like this level, and not because of the difficulty, but because it's a vertical focused level that's going down. Vertical up is bad. This is, I mean, Elect Man from the original Mega Man will tell you that. Vertical stages in Mega Man, not a good idea in general. Whoops. Vertical levels going down are also not usually a good idea, because usually you're falling so fast it doesn't matter. So what do? The only time they ever do downward drops in Mega Man games is it's almost every time going to be a gauntlet of you. Just, it's a straight drop with, whoops, a couple of telegraphed places on where to go, and mostly it's a spike wall on either side. The only other real exception, quit looking at the overlay, man. And they can be good, but it's very difficult, and that's where I was getting at here. This is a vertical stage. Normally I'd say that's a big no-no, but I cannot get that last one. The timing just never works. But the one thing about this one is it's pretty good about either A, dropping you somewhere relatively safe, not 100% safe, but somewhere relatively safe, or at the very least giving you enough time to where you can follow what's going on and what's going to happen. It's not throwing stuff at you. Whoops, that was my own fault. I got ahead of myself. It's not throwing stuff at you and making a lot of blind drops. Like, this is technically a blind drop, but it drops you in a safe spot. There's not, I don't think, been an instance so far where you're blind dropped and you're gonna die if you don't know that the thing is down there. Like that first time I came down here, I died immediately, but that's because I immediately took off to the right rather than waiting to actually see what was going on. If I'd have been a little slower and more methodical, that wouldn't have happened, and that's entirely on me, not the designer. And so that's been very good in this level, in that you're not put in a completely blind situation. And even if you are, it's done so in such a way that it's safe. Okay, this is going to be an interesting battle. I have the high ground, Anakin. I knew he'd fall eventually if I just bombed everything out. Alright. I'm going to give you a thumbs up, if only because you made a vertical level I didn't hate. Like I say, vertical levels, generally not a good idea for a Mega Man game. But you made it work, and you made it work well. Alright. Magnum opus. Hey man, I'll play it on the stream, just not tonight. I gotta get to work in the morning, so we'll probably gonna call it here. It's been almost 2 hours at this point, and I just finished the queue, so I think this is a good time to stop. And you know, I enjoyed the levels. I got a lot of good submissions tonight. Got one or two that were kind of rough, and I think they're things I could get back to eventually. I'll have to go in and check my skipped queue. I just realized that's somewhere else entirely. Wait a second. Phantom, let me check. I think I didn't get to yours. after all, did I? So let me pull that up and queue it up if I missed it. Let's see. And which one was yours? It was Arrow Base Vanguard, is that the one? Okay, we'll do that one then. 57514. Okay, yeah, there we go. Let me put that into the queue so it will show up properly. Okay. Key that back in. Add to queue. And play now. Make sure it updates. Crashman, Tower Mark II. Alright, yep. We got everything up to speed. And we'll play this one and call it a night. Oh, it even starts like a luck man. Oh yeah, this is Crashman's theme, I forgot. I love this ditty. Yeah, as a Robot Master, he's kind of a dull one in general. Wait a second, what have I got? He's a little broken in the original. I don't know that I've fought him in Mega Maker, so I don't know if they've adjusted him any or not, but he just kind of sits there in one corner and throws stuff at you. Nightman can be bad. It kind of depends on your arena. In general, not great just because of the sheer fact that he just he can defend, which causes issues. I cannot see because my invisibility frames. Alright. Oh, nope. Nope, 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 nope. Wait a second, I've got weapons. Oh. Oh yeah, I forgot they added that. For some reason, I think that's going to be the boss's weakness, so we'll store that. Just because the art follows similar to Airman's. Well, shoot. Nope. I think I'm stuck. Yep, nope, I'm stuck. I probably should have came in from the other direction if I were to guess, and I probably could have got out. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. But that's one of those things, it gets you, because you think, oh, that's what it's supposed to be, but instead, oh, we're gonna get you. Just skip that room. Alright, let's go this. Yeah, and I wouldn't call this one, I wouldn't say this one is not something you couldn't beat on one life. If I'd have paid attention, I would have known better. And I kind of realized it in the middle of it, and I'm like, oh yeah, I think I screwed the pooch on this one. So, I think that one was, this one could probably, so far, be 100% beatable with one life. I just screwed up. I don't know, these right here. They make me think I can get up there. I know you can't, but it makes me want to go. Alright, this seems like a good place to use Starman as just a precaution. Oh, wait a second, we wanted to save that, that's right. Oh! Oh, hit in the air. Should pay more attention. Oh yeah, and that's totally fine. That was just, that's one of my little idiosyncrasies there too. It's just like, oh, it's a hole. I should be able to get up in there. But yeah, no, it works better. It looks real solid. That's a very good use of something that's completely aesthetic only, and it works. Oh crap. There we go. Oh yeah, no, this has been a good level. It's not infuriatingly difficult. It's not anything that seems drastically unfair. It's just execution. I don't know that I'd go so far as to say wily only, but yeah, they should be used sparingly. I mean, honestly, about the only time I can think of a good use for spikes is in lieu of a bottomless pit. And most of the time, I would just say use the bottomless pit over the spike. I don't need the health, so we'll go down instead. Just as a precaution. I think I can make it though. Oh yeah. Good. Save point in the transition to the boss room. I've seen people not do that. Oh, come on. I should have had him. Spike Man. There's not a Spike Man, but there is a Needle Man. And I'm not sure if that's a localization quirk. Whew! I'm gonna admit, I was scared. I didn't think I was gonna beat that one. Oh yeah, I'm sure you can. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not that sadistic, but yeah, that's definite thumbs up. That's probably, I want to say that's probably the best level I've played so far. Yeah, he's a weird one. I don't know. He just didn't have a very interesting design for me, so I don't know. It just didn't stick around in the consciousness all that much. Alright, well, that's the end of the queue. And we're going to call that the end of the night, folks. No, that was a solid level. I mean, I can't think of much that you would need to change, if anything. Part of me thinks it's like, hey, it's good enough as is. I don't know that I would make changes just for fear of screwing it up. But that's just me. Hey, it's been fun. I got a lot of good levels out of this tonight, and the reception's been great. And I look forward to doing it again next week. I'll try tonight or tomorrow morning. Like I say, it's late, so I may do it in the morning. Get the levels that I did not play. I know I had multiple submissions from a lot of users, and I'm guessing most people probably submitted them in order from their first choice, as in their least favorite, to their most favorite. And so since they did it in that order, I'm expecting that some of the submissions I got were probably not the ones they would have preferred me to play if they had the option. But hey, but I'll try and compile those into a list so that I can go ahead and queue them up for next week, so that I can start with those and we can get those that I haven't got. I can get new submissions. I'll put up a thread in the official forums, subrate it again just like last week, or like this week, excuse me, and I'll see what else I can do in terms of making this, you know, even easier. I'm not aware of any way that you can just go straight to Warp World and submit anything. I know I can submit them to my own personal queue, but I don't know if there's a way to publicly do that outside of a chat bot, which I also hope to have set up by next week with a chat bot that will work with both Twitch and YouTube, because currently that's the biggest problem we have, is I can't find one that's compatible with both. And I don't want to, you know, have to pick a side. I can't pick a child, can't pick a favorite. So hopefully we'll get that settled by next week, but in the meantime, I'll put up a thread probably Monday morning again, and then we'll have the thread, like I say, in the official forums, the Mega Man official subreddit. Hey, the more I can get, the better. I'm happy to see you guys, and I'm happy when I've got a lot of people, because I like to make my streams interactive, and I like to be able to talk with people as much as I can. I mean, if you've gone back and taken a look at any of my archives, you can tell that the ones where I don't have a lot of people to talk to are the ones that are very quiet and very dull. I'm not one who can talk about himself a whole lot. But, hey, I know you're here for Mega Maker, but I do streams. I do at least one other stream a week. I always do a Throwback Thursday where I play retro style games besides Mega Man. I play, currently I'm finishing up Cave Story Plus. This Thursday we'll start heading towards the final boss, actually. If you know anything about Cave Story, not the final boss, but the good ending final boss, not the best ending final boss. And so after that, of course, we'll have the gauntlet, which is fun to go through. I'm kind of rusty, so it's a pretty ugly little adventure. But so we'll do that. Saturdays, I just do pretty much whatever. I was going to do a Splatoon stream this weekend. Didn't get around to that because it was just a lot going on with the fam. A lot of scheduling conflicts. Didn't get around to anything this weekend like I wanted to. I've also been playing XCOM 2 some. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, we'll get that there. You know, on Throwback Thursday, 1 or 2 more weeks is all Cave Stories really got in it. I'm expecting probably 1. I'm hoping to try and get through it because I've got just the boss fight and then the gauntlet to do. The Bloodstained Sanctuary, I believe, is what they call it now. Yes, exactly. Just said that. So Cave Story will be over, and I'll have a week or 2 I'm going to have to fill with something before Sonic Mania comes out. It's not technically a retro game because it's brand new, but it's retro style. And to that end, I wonder if I could actually get a copy of, say, Sonic 3 and Knuckles to play through on the stream in the week before that, because that would actually be good. I love that game, and I can sit through that and play it in a couple hours and be done with it. So that might be something I consider. I think I can probably get it on. Steam. I think they have a Genesis collection these days. But so that's on Thursdays. I'll be playing Cave Story. Finish that up. Head over to Sonic Mania. Some filler in there probably. After that, I've been having my eye on actually downloading Mario 64. Haven't played that in a long time, so I may get that on the Wii U. Stream that out. You know, I got a lot of stuff. There's a lot of games coming out between now and then that I'll probably be playing on Saturdays too. You've got Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle comes out in the end of August, so that's something I'll be doing on Saturdays probably. I want to try and do Splatoon fairly regular. I'm not a great player, but it's one of those things I like to do. Maybe get a squad together. If any of you guys out there play Splatoon 2, you know, hit me up, let me know. Maybe we can get a squad together, do voice chat, get everything together. Maybe not through the Nintendo app, because I've heard it sucks. I don't know. I don't have enough actual friends that play Splatoon to find out. But yeah, I got a lot of other stuff, so if you find something that you're interested in, I'm not going to twist your arm and make you come or anything, but if any of that stuff kind of sounds interesting, I mean, if you're into Mega Man and Mega Maker, it's a good chance you're probably into the retro stuff, so maybe at the very least, Throwback Thursdays would be something for you, and maybe not the Saturday stuff, but hey, whatever you're here for, if all you come for is Mega Maker, I'll be happy with that too. But, you know, it's been fun, guys. I gotta hit the sack, and so we will see you, at the very least, next Monday. Bye.